Hello, good morning. Greetings from not so sunny Alnmouth, which is where we're staying this week. We are here on holiday for the next 5 days, and we're not vlogging the entire holiday because it is our little breakaway. But we are going to be vlogging a couple of the things we get up to because the wonderful team at Visit Northumberland have gifted us some tickets to some attractions. And they're both attractions that we've both really wanted to do for a really long time. Izzy's here, by the way, she's over there. Hi! Where we're going today is somewhere that I've wanted to go for probably about 7 to 8 years, and that entire time I've been saying the name wrong. I've been saying Alnwick rather than Alnwick. But where we're actually going is Alnwick Gardens, the Alnwick Garden. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's such a shame about the weather, but we're still going to make the best of it and we're still going to have a really good time. The best bit of all is that I'm hiring a mobility scooter and I'm far too excited about this, slash nervous, slash apprehensive for the people around me. Forgot to say as well that we're staying in Alnmouth, which is a little coastal, would you say it's a village?
Yeah.
Little coastal village. It's just outside of Alnwick and you can get, obviously there's a train station to Alnmouth, so it was quite convenient for us given that we don't drive and we rely on public transport. We're staying in a little tiny house. It's 1 minute away from the beach, and yesterday we did get lucky with the weather when we got here, so at least we got down to the beach yesterday and we made the most of that.
There's lots of cafes and restaurants
yes.
that we are very excited to try
for
science, of course.
Research purposes, of course.
And the beach is I think pretty accessible.
Yeah, we got the wheelchair down on the beach yesterday, which is quite an achievement in itself. Very happy, all things considered.
We did kind of just abandon said wheelchair in the middle of the beach, and then we kind of like walked off a bit to sit down. It looked a bit ominous, just so.
There were a few raised eyebrows, like you got down the slope to the beach and there was just an abandoned wheelchair just stood there. The gardens. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me, but I realised I didn't explain very well what was happening with the mobility scooter. So I didn't bring Janice the power chair on this trip with me just for ease of access in other areas. So I've got George the manual, which I'm in now, but in both the gardens and the castle you can rent a mobility scooter for the day. Now I've never driven a mobility scooter before, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I am excited. It should be good. We've just stopped off for a hot drink and a little snack. We're having a really good time so far. We'll talk to you properly about it in a bit, but what's your verdict so far? Awesome. Awesome.
It's a lovely poison garden.
Yes.
Anyone who wants to pick up some hints and tips if they need to dispose of anybody.
But
drink your tea, Pippa.
much later on in the day now. Things didn't quite go to plan, did they?
No, alas.
No.
No.
No, we still had a really lovely time. It is just very, very torrential. The things we had planned for today couldn't go ahead. There was no way they were happening, so we've just had to come home, had a cup of tea, had a rest, warm back up again. And we're just going to go for an evening meal instead. But the fact that we still had a really lovely time and really enjoyed it, despite the fact that the weather was absolutely horrendous, I think says a lot, doesn't it? There is that.
If it's nice in the rain, then we can only, guess at how lovely it'll be in the glorious sunshine.
Yeah, we're going to have to come back in the sunshine as well. Because we genuinely, it was so good, wasn't it?
It was. You could so easily spend a day there.
Yes.
I want you to believe. Hold me in the evening, catch me. Want you to dream.
I have no idea whatsoever whether we're both in this, but we'll give it a go anyway, because we've had quite the turn of events. We're on a beach, it's Wednesday, it's sunny.
We've actually had to apply sun cream.
We've put sun cream on ourselves,
Yeah.
we're in t-shirts. I just don't know what to make of this.
We've got our toes in the sand, it's lovely, it's glorious weather. weather.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I think that's all we have to say, really. We just felt like we should document this.
We're in the UK on holiday and it's sunny.
In the north.
In the north.
Good old north.
In the north. This feels like a holiday type of thing.
I know, it does, doesn't it? Yay! Good morning, it is Thursday. It's a much sunnier day today, thank goodness. It wouldn't be hard to top the weather on Tuesday, but we're doing good so far. And today we're off to Alnwick Castle. Again, thank you so much to Visit Northumberland for arranging this for us today. I'm excited. You're on a different level, aren't you? This is your kind of thing, isn't it?
This is a different planet to me.
Izzy's
Of excitement.
We have been informed there is some sort of dragon experience.
There's a dragon experience, we can learn to fly a broomstick.
Yep.
I mean, what's not to love, really?
On the website it's marketed as ideal for children aged 6 to 16, so naturally we will be taking part.
Obviously.
What we're going to do first, and I really hope this comes off, there is one of the largest second-hand bookshops in the country in Alnwick, really near where we're going. It's called Barter Books, and I'm desperately hoping we can get in there this morning before we go to the castle. We've tried a few times and there's been queues outside of the door to get in.
I want you to dream. I want you to dream. Hey, want you to dream. Want you to dream. Want you to dream. Want you to dream.
Oh my goodness, Barter Books was absolutely incredible. I feel a bit bereft that we had to leave and we're already strategising how we can get back there. It was so nice, wasn't it? It was so good.
Yes.
Izzy looks beautiful today. I look a bit like a toenail.
No, you don't. You look like a little lemon drop.
Thank you, I will take that. But yeah, we had a really lovely time in Barter Books and now we are off to the castle. I'm in my mobility scooter of the day. You
should turn that into a series.
Who needs outfit of the day? We're doing mobility aid of the day. You drive it slightly differently to the other one, but I'm really looking forward to this actually. Challenge accepted.
That's
so
George.
The castle is in front of us. We're off to have an explore. Let's do it. Hang on, there's my wheelchair. I'll show you my wheelchair. That's a staff member taking my wheelchair off for safekeeping. The staff have been really good. We had a little bit of a hiccup earlier, but the staff have been so helpful both
10
here
out of 10.
and at the gardens as well. Really
nice,
good.
Really nice.
Yay! Swizzle it. Wow! So if you can only get onto the ground floor if you use mobility aids, you can sit here and you can take a virtual tour of the first or the second floor. We're having a bit of a swizzle situation going on here.
No, right, I've got it. Right, no, I haven't.
But that's really cool. That's a really cool way of making a historical building a bit more accessible. So I'm a big fan of that.
Star. Well done. So this is the Morning Star. It normally has 3. One's missing.
We're just in the queue to go in the stately homes and we've just had a really thorough explanation of how it works access wise. So I'm going to park my scooter up. There's a few steps to get up to. There's a 1-person lift that you can use if you need it, and then if you want it while you're in there they can lend you a wheelchair to get around the top, which is what we're going to do. But they're all so knowledgeable and they've really got this down, haven't they? I'm really impressed. We couldn't film in the in the staterooms. There was no filming allowed, but they were absolutely gorgeous, and I am so blown away by how informed all of the staff were in terms of accessibility. They all knew exactly how many steps I'd need to walk, exactly where I needed to go. There was somebody stationed at each point. They had really, really clear protocol in advance for people who wanted to transfer out of a scooter, as long as they could walk a few steps. Get in the lift. The lift's a little bit scary, probably one to give a miss if you're claustrophobic. And then there was a wheelchair that you could ask for and borrow to go around the rooms at the top. So I'm really impressed. They really had it down, and I think stuff like that makes all the difference, because the faffing means that there's less energy you need to exert as well. Just in case anyone was wondering, it's Invacare scooters. I forgot to look which one it was yesterday, but it's Invacare mobility scooters they use at Alnwick Castle. Oh look, here's an Isabel. Hello. I don't know if you can see the view, like it's not doing it justice on camera. That is the most beautiful view I've seen in a really long time. We're struggling a bit to go, aren't we?
I don't want to leave.
We know that we need to move on, but we're struggling to say goodbye. As for now, we're going to have a wander into Alnwick. We're going to find somewhere to have some lunch and do a little bit more exploring, aren't we?
Yes.
But lovely visit, wasn't it? Did you enjoy it?
Thoroughly.
Good. I just almost said excuse me to this little plant pot with legs.
I want you to believe. Hold me, lead me, catch me. Want you to dream.
We've just found a little spot called the Origami Cafe, and it's so rare. If you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know how rare it is for me to find stuff I actually like, stuff I can actually have, like treat stuff. They've made me an Oreo milkshake. You've had a fudge milkshake. I cannot even tell you how awesome they were in there. They showed me all the labels and everything. They checked all the ingredients with me. They were so kind, so accommodating. So, oh, I'm so happy right now.
And it's delicious.
And it's delicious.
It's so good.
In a shocking turn of events, we found ourselves back at Barter Books. This time,
How go you film me filming one go?
I feel like we can decompress now we're back in here. We had to come back.
I want you to dream. I want you to dream.
There's a big stick here. Oh! Do you think if I chuck it I'll get a dog? There's only one way to...
Are you okay?
Sorry. We've got an ideal setup going on here. We've got the phone propped on the wheelchair on the beach, getting slightly judged by the people around us, but you can't beat this angle, so it's all good.
No.
A few things we wanted to add, just in case you're watching this as somebody who wants to visit this part of the world one day, because we would recommend, wouldn't we?
I think we'd come back here, honestly.
I would, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. As you might know if you read my stuff or watch my videos, I have the joys of multiple allergies, and it can be challenging to find things to eat. So I just thought we'd share like 3 really positive experiences that we've had while we're here, just in case you do happen to be in the area. First one is in Alnmouth, and it was called Hope and Anchor?
Yes.
Hope and Anchor. It is a sit-down restaurant, but their kitchen is entirely nut-free, which is absolute music to my ears. I actually nearly cried a little bit. I got too excited.
I saw tears.
Actual
Like
tears.
the baby born doll, real tears.
And because everything's cooked fresh on site, they can basically customise lots of different things on their menu. So that was very flexible in terms of food allergies. The staff
They
is
had
so lovely.
an entire vegan menu as well.
Yeah. So we had
which is
desserts and everything. I had a dessert that wasn't a raspberry sorbet, which if you're dairy free, that in itself is an achievement and worth the 2-hour train journey. The second one was Scots of Alnmouth. That was a deli rather than a sit down place, and it's like a combination of a shop with fresh produce and bits and pieces, and also
Deli paraphernalia, for lack of a better word.
deli paraphernalia.
Kind of like chutneys and meats
Yeah,
and cheeses
yeah.
and like
and also stuff you can easily take away, so like
loads of free-from
sandwiches,
chocolate,
salads, soups,
free from goodies
stuff
and things like
They
that.
stock Lazy Day Foods, which is one of my favourite free from brands. We need to remember to get some of that tomorrow.
We do.
Yeah, so they do really nice takeaway stuff. So if you're coming to the beach and you want something like kind of light for your lunch, they were lovely. The guy who owns that was absolutely brilliant. All of the staff were again really lovely, but he came out, he talked through the menu, he asked what the allergens were, and that was really nice, fresh
So
food.
good. So good.
And the final one is a really lovely experience. I did vlog it earlier. We had today in Alnwick, in the town centre, which was also lovely to go and explore. Bless you! Bless you!
Excuse me.
Bless you, child.
He's in the water.
We had a really lovely experience at the Origami Cafe in Alnmouth. They are a dessert and cakey place rather than a lunchy place, which we did not know. But again, the staff was so lovely. She was so good. I had an Oreo milkshake, and again, that in itself is groundbreaking because I can never get desserts or nice treats anywhere. And again, just went above and beyond. So that was a really positive experience as well. So I like sharing positive experiences because they can be few and far between, especially when you're somewhere new. And the fact that people go out of their way really does make such a difference.
And also the milkshakes were so good.
Everybody here has been so lovely and so warm and welcoming and friendly. It just seems like such a gorgeous community. It's a very small town. There's such a community feel and people have been so kind.
Just everyone has gone out their way to really try and help us and make our stay really comfortable, and it's much appreciated.
Like when we were sat having breakfast the other day in our little Airbnb and he just calls through the windows, he's going past, do you want anything from the corner shop? I just love that so much. Thank you so much for watching if you made it to the end of this video. There will be blog posts up at some point. And I just wanted to say thank you so much again to Visit Northumberland for kind of facilitating those trips, because we really did enjoy them and have a good time. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe if you want, and I will see you next time.